Good afternoon, friends. You can't hear me. Well, good afternoon, friends. Sorry about that. I know you couldn't hear me because my microphone wasn't anywhere near me. Welcome to Kahuna Reads. Got to remember where the camera is. It's been like 3 days since I did this. I can't remember. Uh, Welcome to Kahuna Reads. Apologize for the glare on my glasses. We still haven't got the Kahuna layer quite set up properly yet. I haven't got the green screen and the lighting done quite right yet. So we'll get to that. If you are listening and you find that the music or sound effects I use at any point are too loud, please let me know so that I can fix it for you. I think I've got them kind of dialed in. Also, those folks who were listening and could only hear it in one ear, that should be fixed. I should now be in glorious stereo. Or just, stereo, or both ears. Anyway, just got back literally less than an hour ago from the engagement party for my stepdaughter. She's getting married in March. Drove out to Phoenix, Arizona on Friday. We tried doing a Kahuna Lives stream during that time. That was entertaining. We tried to do it from the car. Mrs. Kahuna was helping. The upshot of that is that starting Fridays, there will be at least a portion, if not the entire live from the Kahuna Lair will include Mrs. Kahuna, so it'll be Mr. and Mrs. Kahuna from the Kahuna Lair. So we plan to have some fun with that and really just gotta enjoy that because she, heckles me during the entire time. But she made the mistake of saying, maybe we should do one together. And everybody voted for it. Yep, Mrs. Kahuna's going to be on live. So, funny thing is, about a week ago at this time, she'd have told you she'd never be on camera. And now she's going to be part of the Friday stream. It's actually going to be a lot of fun. So today, it's a Kahuna Reads. I've got stories from, let's see, Barbarossa, from the Hayden Hearth world. Looks like Jade MC, and Solstice, and anybody else who wants to toss in their suggestions for a story, toss them in there. If you want to move to the head of the class, go ahead and spend those Kahuna crowns, and you can move your story to the top. Be sure, if you do that, to toss your link in. Either way, toss a link in. I will do them in the order that I have, unless you use those Kahuna crowns. So please feel free to jump in, use those, and have fun with that. I am also giving away yet another terribly fabulous and high quality Kahuna the Elder sticker. Oh, I see. Wait, I got to duplicate the pose. Does it look like me? Does it look like me? Yeah. Okay. So you can have your very own Kahuna the Elder sticker, and I have actually opened the raffle. So if you would like to win one, all you have to do is type !raffle, and you'll get entries into the raffle for a Kahuna the Elder sticker. I don't know, use it like use it to stop a leak, whatever you like. You use it to hide the little camera on your laptop, although it's awful big for that, but hey, whatever works for you. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have something really ready to read now, but you'd like me to read it in the future, you can always join my Discord server, and there's a link for it. And go on to the Kahuna Reads channel and drop your link there. That's actually where I queue up everything for the next Kahuna Reads. So if you see something you want to put in there to read, it doesn't even have to be yours. If you've seen one you think, this one needs more love, or this one would be great to hear read, drop it in there, because that's where I collect them all during the week to get them ready to read. As for what I've been doing this last week, now that summer camp is over, I've gone back to working on my world. The first thing I have been working on is on essentially rebuilding the styling of the site for the fifth time. The one thing about summer camp was I saw lots of great articles. Excuse me. I saw lots of great articles and lots of great styling and lots of great looks. And so, of course, that makes me want to make mine look better. And also to make it a little easier on me when I go to create new pages. So, having learned some tricks since the last time I did the styling, I'm putting them in there. So if you go onto the site right now, you will see on just about every page a disclaimer saying, hey, the styling is in process. I'm retheming it. If you see a page that looks like something's not quite right, drop a comment in the bottom. Let me know, because I think I'm at somewhere around 340 pages, articles that I've got. Those aren't all live. Those aren't all published. But there's a fair number of published articles. And so, obviously, I'm probably going to miss some as I go through. That's one of the things that I still haven't come up with a good system with, is going back through and fixing it. Dasley, welcome. Hey, how are you? Hope you've had a good weekend. Just getting started here. I've got a few folks, but as a reminder, if you want to drop things in, just drop them in. Pardon me while I ban someone. That would be ban. And we're going to say, it's never a clever name. Oh, I misspelled his bogus name. It's never a clever name to use Boris. Just never. Especially if it's Boris with a number at the end of it. That generally tells me that you, sir, are a fake. I think that's how that works. We'll see. I am home, Dasley. It was a long trip. From here to Phoenix is about 400 miles each way. So, never fun. It's a boring drive. It's a lot of straight highway. And the worst part about it is it's about 117 degrees in the middle of it. And in Phoenix, it was about 110 to 112 yesterday. So, no fun there. So let's just go ahead and ban this individual. What do I want to do with him? I want to block him. Goodbye. Block. That's right. Block. Bye-bye. Too bad. So sad. I hate those kind of bots. Yeah, it does make me appreciate being home. Especially because the last 2 nights we have slept on an air mattress. So, one thing about air mattresses, they're not terribly supportive. The other thing about air mattresses, if there's 2 people on an air mattress, you tend to roll together. So, and the third thing about the air mattresses, if somebody plops down on one side, you have a great chance of launching someone on the other side of the bed. Adventures in sleeping. It was entertaining. So, it was quite the thing. But it was a great party. It was for my my stepdaughter's engagement. She's getting married to a great guy. In fact, he and I had about an hour to sit and chat yesterday, and in some ways, he's almost as geeky as I am. I'm not sure if that should scare me or not, but I think she's got a good one. All right, so let's get started with some reads, shall we? Again, if you have an article you'd like me to read, drop a link in the chat. Using Kahuna Crowns will move you to the top of the list, and the article doesn't have to be yours. It can be anybody's. If you've just seen an article, you're like, man, this one I'd really like to see it read, drop it in there. I'll be glad to. All right, let's see here. The first one I've got is from Barbarossa. Barbarossa actually let me know ahead of time that he wasn't going to be here today, so I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to actually put together a replay so that he can see it, because that's, that sucks that he doesn't get to be able to see it. He's working until like 5 o'clock today, which will be after I go off stream. So I'm going to read it, and then I will post a restream. I'll also be starting to post the recordings of the shows on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, so you will be able to see them later, because I do want folks to be able to see the stories that they've read and just see them, and it gives me a chance to edit them down and maybe even add some sound effects. All right, so the first one we're going to read, and I didn't test the browser share function here, so the question is, which browser will show up? Oh, look, it's the right one. This looks like it is Guldgenacht. So we are going to read Guldgenacht from Barbarossa. In the midst of late autumn, when the harvests have reached their close, those who work so hard come together and cheer. Their cry is heard from the farmhouse to farmhouse, and we all know it is her time again. The time of St. Maeve, and the time for feast, drink, and celebration. St. Maeve's feast day, also known as Guldgenacht, is the harvest festival of the Dwyman people. Guldgenacht is Dwyman for Wheat Cutters' Day. The festival was held at the end of the harvest season and took the form of a vast feast around the time of the autumnal equinox. Though the feast has continued for many centuries, traditions such as the crying of the neck have fallen out of fashion through Dwyrna, as traction engines and farming equipment have removed the need for scythes and cane hooks. Oh, tell me, young lads and lassies, tell me why you're running so, with the laughter on your trailing winds. Your cheeks are all aglow. You say you're going to the churchyards to feast and laugh and play, and to enjoy the festivities of old St. Maeve's feasting day. Legends and tales tell that St. Maeve was a woman renowned for her humility, who offered her home to the poor and animals. The tale has many tellings, but they all seem to share the same three guests who visit her home. On the first day, as Maeve was boiling carrots, she was visited by a string of horses, whom she offered food and her field for rest. The next day they returned her kindness by tilling out all the stones from her field and left. Later that day, as Maeve was making a pie, she was visited by a flock of birds, to whom she offered her sweets and her trees for rest. The next day the flock returned her kindness by covering her field with seeds. Later that day, as Maeve counted the last of her food, she was visited by a group of transients, whom she offered her home and the last of her food. The group of transients returned her kindness by working the land until it grew the finest wheat in all Dwyrna. It was from this field that she was able to feed everyone and every creature who visited her home for a full year. This occurred every year until she grew too old to continue the harvest. In her weary age, the very wheat she planted grew so tall that it lifted her to heaven, though in some regions it is claimed she was buried in a field, where she became a large field of corn, wheat, etc. Dwyrnan farmers have long viewed this tale with great reverence and celebrate her life on the feast day on or near the autumnal equinox. Near the time of the autumnal equinox, farmers would gather into large posses for the annual drawing of the fields. If no drawing is done, the honor of the last field harvested goes to the oldest farmer in the group or town. Once the field has been determined, the farmers harvest each field together, one by one, until they reach the last neck. There the chosen farmer will slash with a scythe or cane hook and perform the crying of the neck. From Brannock all the way to the Storm Coast, farmers participate in Guldgenacht to honor St. Maeve's memory. Once the cry has been called, people will gather together with friends, family, and neighbors to cook a great feast. In some cases, the festivities will occur the next day or the next week, depending on the population of the area. It is common courtesy to allow all wanderers and transients into your home, should they knock, and feed them as St. Maeve did. Then they will repay your kindness with money, stories, or even work the next day. In the last few decades, as traction engines and farming equipment have become more widespread, some rural and urban communities forego the crying of the neck and treat the day more as a feasting holiday. In major cities, workers celebrate by holding feasts with their friends and families while giving any leftovers to the neighbors the next day. In more rural communities, the festival is a large public gathering where food is served in a large fellowship meal at a set place. Here, competitions such as sack races, drinking and eating games, and even weddings are commonplace. The crying of the neck is a St. Maeve's Day tradition, often marking the week before the festival is to occur. It is done when the last field in town, village, or hamlet has cut down the last stalks or necks of their autumn harvest. Once done, the harvester will lift up the neck and shout the traditional cry, "St. Meave! St. Meave! Looky here! A neck for you and your kin!" To which surrounding farmers will cry in return, "Hurrah for the neck! Hurrah for St. Meave! Hurrah for Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so!" So-and-so. And that is Gulkenacht. All right, I like the detail in that one. That gives you a really good sense for what the festival was about, and it gives you there's enough detail there to really feel like this is a full event. There's meaning to the event. There's history behind the event. There's tradition. I like this one a lot. Let me catch up on chat here. Song, welcome. Dragon loves water. Love water. Greetings. RPG Dinosaur Bob, welcome to Kahuna Reads. Dasley, I see yours. We will put that in the queue. Siobhan, good evening. Crap, typo and link. Well, fix that. That article was one of Barbarossa's articles. It was a really nice one. So you probably have read it before. Yeah, the lair is still not ready. What you might have missed, I plan on having it ready by Friday at the latest. I have to actually go pick up parts at Home Depot to get it done. But starting Friday, we have something new happening. Mrs. Kahuna said, kind of opened her mouth on Friday's show because we tried to do it from my car. So she was reading chat for me, but then kept heckling me. And then just kind of chimed in that, gee, I wonder if they'd like to see Mr. and Mrs. Kahuna do something together. And everybody said yes. So starting Friday, Mrs. Kahuna will also be in the Kahuna Lair. So you will see the denizens of the Kahuna Lair. Sable, welcome! I am prepared to receive the borders. Come, friends. Join us in the Kahuna Lair. Come. So folks are coming over. The second lick is gold, so I will get through that one. Prepare to be boarded. The chariot was nice. I hope you're not talking about my car. It was kind of fun. But we will be doing that. By the way, I do have a raffle going. If you have not put in !raffle, because you're going to win. Someone will win. That's right. The Kahuna the Elder sticker. Only one of these has been given away so far. These are rare. Well, as rare as, because I can print them fast. Well, the printer can print them fast. I can send them out fast. So, if you want one, drop it in there. Hit that raffle. I will announce the raffle shortly before we end the stream. So, look at that. Everybody wants a sticker. And why wouldn't you? Sable, welcome! And thank you for the raid. That is so awesome of you. I hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, I was, as I mentioned earlier, I was in Phoenix for my stepdaughter's engagement party. So, here's a little secret about the Kahuna. I can sit here and stream to all of you and not have a bit of anxiety about it and have actually lots of fun, but I'm lousy at parties. I just have this thing about not being comfortable in groups of people unless I'm presenting. So I did my usual sit in the corner as a wallflower have hors d'oeuvres. So I'm glad to be back home and back in my own bed. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So that was Barbarossa's, and I'm going to move Dazzly's up there because I don't think any of the other ones I have queued up are actually anybody that's watching. So I want to be able to read ones of folks that are here first. So Dazzly, I'm going to read yours. Let's see. It's looking like the name is it Obsidious Oda? I'll go with that. Obsidious Oda. Let's see. I'm going to ask how it went. Yeah, it actually was a good party, but it's me being kind of a dork about it. And Dazzly, there was a type. I took the one you said was good. I got a typo, but I think I see where it is. So let me try it again, because I got the dreaded "Hobbits not found." I think this is the good one. I'm hoping. It's waiting. And it appears to be... Maybe? Yes, it's loading. Awesome. That's what I like to do. Oh, you too. Yeah. Am I still in the mono zone? Really? Now that's odd, because I'm actually going through a splitter. So it should be supplying both I know why. And how is that now? Does that fix the monozone? AJ, welcome! So you should be getting me in both ears. Let me know. Because I want to make sure I spent money on a fix. So, I want to make sure you're getting it. I'm great on stream or in the storefront. I know what's expected. Chit chat by the punch. Yeah. It's weird. I know where this insecurity comes from, and it's more than 40 years old, and I'm probably never going to get rid of it. But I have found ways to adapt to it. One of them is, trying to politely put myself at the center of attention. If I tell a couple of jokes, then, great, I've broken the ice and I feel a little better, but then a new crowd comes along and I'm stuck. Otherwise, I'm just a wallflower. But yeah, I've presented in front of, I think the biggest crowd was about 5,000. Didn't break a sweat. No, I was good. Put me in a room with 24 people I don't know and I'm not presenting, makes my chest hurt. Glorious stereophonic Kahuna. Thank you, Kit. Yes, I forgot that, for you to hear both channels, I need to actually turn up both channels. Yeah. So there we go. I'm in stereo now. And, the funny thing is, I can actually hear myself in stereo now. So, dummy. All right, let's do Dazzly's. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss saying hello to anybody? I see. Odd is odd. Okay. All for myself. Much better. You hide in another room if you can. Siobhan, I totally get it. Totally get it. If it's, like I said, if I'm presenting something, it's not a problem. All right. A Kahuna. Here it is. You're now my therapists. You're going to be sorry. Anyway, what it boils down to for me is there was a period in my time when I was terribly awkward, and I had been pulled out on stage, and I was a stage crew person, but I was really geeky, super big, thick glasses. I was dressed in clothing that no one should be forced to wear, and I was brought out on stage, introduced as part of the stage crew, and I was the youngest, so therefore I was the first one brought out, and people applauded me but laughed. All right, I could take that. But then what happened was the next person would be brought out. They would get a little bit of applause, but then they start chanting my name, and somebody would raise my hand up in the air, and I'd be like, "This cheer." Well, of course, it was more like a Bronx cheer. I mean, it really was. They're cheering, but they're really making fun of me. High schoolers can be awful. I think I was about 13 at the time. And, but it taught me the wrong lesson. The lesson it taught me was every time I raised my hand, they cheered. I had now power over this crowd by my action. So while I felt uncomfortable, I could then control them. So now what has happened over years and years is, as long as I'm in control of what their impression of me is, I'm totally okay. I'm actually great. But if I go into a situation with 20 some people and I see 3 people over in the corner and they're looking in my direction and laughing, then my impression is they are laughing at me. It's the silliest thing ever. It is the absolute biggest insecurity I have. And I know it, and I deal with it, but it's uncomfortable. It is truly, truly uncomfortable. The anxiety last night was intense for quite a while, so. But I'm good. I survived. AJ, thank you for the subscription. You are awesome, sir. I guess I just needed to go stereo, is what you're saying. I just needed stereo and you'd be good. Thanks. Thank you so much, AJ, for the sub. We'll have an Anvilite party. Kahuna and I will entertain you all to fight our social anxiety. That's right. Maybe we'll get up and do karaoke. Because I know you sing. And I'll sort of sing. Actually, I'm not bad. As long as I know what I'm singing. Let's see. Siobhan will serve. And I'm here. Yes. All right. So remember, sticker raffle. Let's go on and read Dazzly's article here. Obsidious Odd. Let's see. What voice should I use for that? Let's look at this screen. I've got it. Obsidious Odd. Obsidious Odd was a magi of insignificance within the High Guild of Magic. He spent most of his time either in the Grand Archives or visiting various other libraries throughout the world. He worked hard at being unnoticed and ignored by his fellow magi. That is, until the backwater village of Blackstone was added to the Mirabek's kingdom, and news of its incredible bridge to where nowhere became all the rage among the scholarly. He was one of the first scholars to arrive in Blackstone, and became very involved in the study of the bridge. After extensive scries of the bridge revealed that there were no signs of magic, he was the first to be disappointed. However, by then he had fallen in love with the town life in Blackstone, and decided that this was where he would spend the rest of his life. His shop was a simple thing built into the main floor of his 2-story cottage. It took 2 years for the stone cottage shop to be built, and in that time he strengthened his ties with the High Guild and Scribes Guild in anticipation of what he would sell from his little shop. He was also very busy moving his things to Blackstone, so that, soon as his cottage shop was built, he could move in and have goods to sell. He became the town's greatest source for writing materials and the occasional magical trinket. When the kingdom's explorers discovered electrum veins in the hills and that gemstones could be panned from the rough forewaters of the Darkwater River, prospectors flocked to Blackstone. It was his shop they went to for the papers, vellums, and often his writing skills to write their formal prospector claims. This was called staking a claim, and the Blackstone Council of Elders, with royal permission, opened a claim secretariat. Before long, people were able to afford the modest magical trinkets Obsidious sold at his shop, making him a modestly wealthy man. Obsidious Odd was no mere magi. In fact, he was not a magi at all. Instead, he was a shadow troll who constantly drank polymorph potions to keep himself looking like an old human man. He had an impressive array of magical items he used to do spells while he pretended to cast them. Obsidious was also an agent of the Ministry of Clandestination, who spent many of his years before the bridge to nowhere, dealing secrets to various mortal folk, for not only a fee in gold, but also the promise of a favor. It was these favors he made sure that the High Guild of Magic never discovered the existence of the Shadow Trolls. Whenever an incident happened, he would use memory dust to ensure there was no one who could remember it. When the Black Bridge became interesting to the High Guild, he got himself involved with the first scholarly expedition where he cleverly and gently blocked all of the scrying, so they never suspected it and believed the bridge was not magical. The bridge, in fact, was heavily protected by cloaking spells to hide that it was actually the entrance to the Ministry of Clandestination. He spent the rest of his human years aging for another 20 years while he ensured his trickery held. When he died, it was only cause he was confident the bridge was now safe. No one to leave even a single thread out of place. He willed all his human possessions, including his shop, to another scholarly magi, a young journeyman magi he had known well during the young human's apprentice days. They had stayed friends and were pen pals until Obsidius died. Obsidius was one to plan long, and he had planned this friend to inherit his human things from their first meeting. He was so successful that even to this day, no one suspects that Obsidius Odd had been more than an insignificant magi of the High Guild who became a shopkeeper. I am of the never known, and I am always watching. Obsidius Odd as he keeps his unending vigil from the shadows. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. I like that you set up the whole thing telling us about this little guy who was, an insignificant kind of guy, but he was a magi, and then flip the script and say, the guy's actually a lot better than he looks, but he knows how to use stuff. He's not really a magi, but he knows how to make it look like he's a magi, and nobody's the wiser. I like this guy. Let's see. Hell Yes Karaoke. Okay. And Song has reminded me that I promised a Miracle Max voice. I did, didn't I? Was it last week? I did Princess Bride, so. Let's see. Well, let me look at this next story here. The Seraphim Blade Myth. This was by Child of Mars. Let me see how this one looks. No. I need a fun one for Miracle Max. That was a great, Dazzly. No, thank you. Thank you for putting it up there. That's stories like that are fun to read. They really are, because I can get into it, and especially if they're written in a narrator style. It's very easy to find a voice for a narrator. Why do I keep saying I'm feeling like Jeff Goldblum all of a sudden. I just got all Jeff Goldblum. I need to read one of Q's articles for Miracle Max. That's a good point. So if you've got one of Q's articles you really like, toss it into Q so I can see it. That was not a pun intended there. Dragon Love Water says they got one. And yes, I do have the challenge going to double the stream length. It's a high one. And you know what? It's not ever going to end. As soon as, whenever at some point we hit that number, I will go to double the stream length. And then I'll figure out something else to go up to. So, and besides, you guys have already convinced Mrs. Kahuna to be part of the Friday streams. So, so you won't be getting double the stream, but you will be getting double the Kahunas. So, hold on to your hats. I mean, strap yourselves in. Double Kahuna. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We had talked about doing it from the car again, just finding some place to drive to, or just drive around and do it from the car again. No, but I do have a potential surprise that's close to it. Sable, thank you. Thank you for the crowns. Woo! That's right. Double the kahuna. Double the fun. And, you know, if I don't start getting more exercise and eating better, you make it double kahuna in more than one way. Anyway, the Kahuna Chariot Part 2. Yeah. What? Oh, did you see the pup? Who is it? Who has entered the room? Ah, that's Maverick. Maverick is our old man. He's somewhere around 14 years old. Can't hear a thing. Nothing. A bomb could go off next to him, and the only thing it would do is move his hair. He is deaf as a board. But boy, does he know that in the morning I usually go downstairs to get something to drink so I can start my day. He knows that's when I'm standing by the counter, and he knows to go get his treat. Because all 3 dogs get a treat when I go downstairs. Oh, he knows it. He may be old. He may sleep most of the day. But all of a sudden, he's like a 3-month-old puppy when I get the treats out. What a moocher. Tell him he needs to get a job. Kahuna, kahuna. I want my. I can't figure out how to make kahuna work in that one yet. So mad my modem died and I missed it. Yeah, well, okay, we died halfway through. So don't feel too bad. We started going up a hill getting out of Indio and signal went out. That was it. We were able to chat for about another 2 minutes and it was done. Yeah, Maverick he's a sweetheart. He is. Well, let me rephrase that. He's grumpy. He basically wants to be left alone. But every once in a while he gets cuddly and, you know. He's the oldest of the 3 dogs we have. We have a husky, Zoe, and we have a little guy. I think I've shown him on stream before, Wesley. No idea what the smaller 2 dogs are. Well, I think Maverick is a Shih Tzu mix. We think Wesley's something like that, and Zoe is a husky mix of some type. Yeah, Zoe's the youngest. Wesley's the second youngest. Wesley's about this big, and Zoe's about 55 pounds. And they play. They play by Zoe pulling Wesley by his tail, and Zoe grabbing or Wesley grabbing Zoe's ears. That's their play. Let's see. Short and cheesy, working on the articles referenced in it, so sorry ahead of time. I want Kahuna. I am going to have to see if I can find a karaoke version of Money for Nothing and do that one. I want Kahuna reads. I think I get Sting to do it. That'd be fun. Dragon Loves Water has thrown one in. So has Kit. So let's go get Kit. Let's get Q's first. That's one of Q's articles. No, you're loading in the wrong window. So let me drag you over here so I can see you in all your glory. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Let me drop this in to the right spot. Oh, sometimes Windows is just no fun. There we go. This looks like it's the Ballad of Fancy Ben. All right, I'm going to try a max. Let's see. Siobhan, currently at 3%. Yeah, we got to get there. Drop mine in the Kahuna Reads in Discord. Awesome. All right. So the Ballad of Fancy Ben with a big bomb. Here we go. Maybe. Here we go. No, wrong window. That would be the problem. All right, 1 second here. Bear with me. I'm going to get the right one. Yes, now my computer's deciding to go really slowly. And you guys still can't see it, so we'll do this. Do this. Close that. I don't know. You guys are having such fun listening to me. I got it stuck in my head now. Thanks, guys. All right. The Ballad of Fancy Ben, as told by a version of Miracle Max. That is a bomb. Oh, so you're going to put a bomb on the page? Once there was a time when nukes were all around, and Ben was always happy with kin and kin around. The Ballad of Fancy Ben is the story and legend of the world's last nuke, first popularized by the Nuketeers, and since seen countless covers, remixes, and even a movie or two. There was a video game, but no matter the technological advances made in the megacity, games based on movies still don't have a great track record. The ballad is a retelling of Ben from his humble origin as one nuke among many to the last of his kind. But then some people said, "Hey nukes, what's your game?" And suddenly they feared a big old boom to hear. The ballad was originally a piece of counterculture, meant to show that despite the corporation's concentrated effort, they'd ultimately failed at what they set out to do. But when the song turned out to be a real hit, the band quickly changed their tune and joined forces with the Corps to really make a profit. Right about that time, the nukes were coming round, 'cause war was always near, and that's the time to run in fear. The end was growing near with mushroom clouds everywhere, when some boring asshole said, "Hey, maybe let's not do that here." With corporate support, the ballad went from sleeper's hit to citywide bestseller, showing once and for all that selling out works wonders. With that, Ben became a pop culture icon. He'd appear in commercials, in children's cartoons, movies, and games. There are Ben-themed lunchboxes, the whole 9 radioactive yards. And so Fancy Ben lives on in their hearts and minds of megacorporations, who have somehow managed to forget that he's still an active nuclear device. There are even rumors that the Nuketeers are planning a reunion tour, and then they plan to send Fancy Ben off as part of the show. If they can't profit from Ben anymore, then no one can. That was that for poor old Ben, with all his kin put in the bin. And so Ben was all alone, with all the nukes all but gone. Old Fancy Ben, the last of his kind. They went quiet, but he'll go loud. Merchandise. Some people believe that the real reason why Fancy Ben hasn't been tracked down yet is because he's still pretty profitable. Besides the songs, movies, and endless documentaries about nukes where he inevitably becomes the star, there are Fancy Ben mugs, stickers, computer cases, and anything else you can think of. Centurion Arms and Armor even sell bombs designed to look like miniature Bens. And if you buy 3, you get a plushie version of the Fancy Ben as a bonus. There's even a brand of Java called Ben's Favorite Brew that probably isn't slightly radioactive. Ben is a Mark IV nuclear bomb, and he's the last one around. After market analysis reported that nuclear detonations would negatively impact earnings, that's all she wrote about the nukes. The corpse rounded them up and melted them down to make commemorative trinkets. Ben escaped the nuclear purge and lives on as a cultural phenomena and also an active live nuclear device. After Ben, there'll be no more nukes. Here's the hoping he doesn't go out in style. All right. I hope that was close enough to Miracle Max. Commercial gold. That's right. It's commercial gold. Oh man, that was fun. I see, Siobhan, you dropped yours into the Kahuna Reads, so I will have to go up and get that. So I'm going to do Dragon Love Water first, and then I'll go get the one from for you. I will get both of those in today before I finish. Guys, like I said, the other ones I have queued up, they're not from people who are watching, so you guys get first priority rather than just ones I found. Thank you so much. That was as close as I can get for a longer read for Miracle Max. I'm gonna have to work on him. He's a fun voice. You know, he had fun storming the castle. It'll never wake. All right, let's see. Stay moist ritual. Oh dear. Moist. That's one of those words, you know. Everybody knows that. Especially moist. Yeah. It's a fun word to say, but can make people cringe a little. Well, let's read that one, and then we'll get to Siobhan's. So let me drop that one in here. Oh, you gave me a preview version, so I'll have to fix that real quick, because I'm probably going to get the 404. Oh, no, let me have it. All right. Let me take a quick look at this and figure out which one. Why are they even saying that? Well, it seems to be an adaptation of an old saying from... I don't really care, but I wish they would cease to use it. An overheard conversation between two elderly Minervan women. There are few slang terms more disliked among the elderly and snobbish members of Minervan society as stay moist. It's unknown exactly why it is so hated, and when questioned, individuals will give a vague and altogether unsatisfying answer. Is it because it has the word moist in it? Or perhaps because it implies you need to be, or already were, moist. Perhaps it's because it's such a butchering of not one but two major languages. Whatever the reason, young people have continued to use this turn of phrase to say goodbye and show no signs of stopping. Over the years, as Minerve and Ribonez grew into their new socio-economic structures after the Revolution, they began trading with one another frequently. Displaced members of both ethnicities began to return home, and culture and goods were exchanged with increasing frequency. Common sayings that they were often passed off on as meanings of learning about each other's homeland began to spread from their origins. And as with all languages, sayings were quickly dismantled, rearranged, and altered to fit the setting, leading to slang. The term stay moist has had more cultural pull than other sayings, partially for the repulsion some experience upon hearing it, and partially for the way it was coined. The story goes like this. Under the glaring sun in the desert of Ribonez, water is a precious commodity. People have been known to give away their prized heirlooms for a scant jar of water. Thus, many traditions, beliefs, and superstitions are built around water and eventually brought about the saying, "May your crops be watered and your lips remain moist," as a pleasant turn of phrase meaning farewell. During a fall social engagement, as the young Lord Matthias Linweather and his Ribbonin friend Elidasht were discussing the old saying and became intoxicated, and later left loudly stating to everyone they encountered, "Stay moist, Russia can be scarce." This unfortunately caught on and was a trend within a twin moon. So, my friends, stay moist. Actually, the right way to say that, if I really wanted to make that one, was stay moist, my friends. The most damp person in the world. Sorry I didn't put that on screen. I didn't realize I hadn't until after I had finished reading it, and then went, oh, look, they've been looking at me try to do these voices. There's Siobhan's. Got it. Looks like it's the Gautama and Ciara location. So let me put that in there real quick. Oh no, that's the wrong link, because that's a link to the channel. I want the link to that. Not the message link, the link. The linky link. Oh, let's get that loaded up. Barbarossa, hey, I read your story. I will be posting stuff. I won't get to it tonight. Tomorrow onto YouTube. I'm going to start posting all of this stuff on YouTube, and I'm going to break the stories up into individual little clips. So you'll be able to see the stories of yours I read, and that's going to be true for everybody. So as I find the clips, I will post them, and I will post links to your stories in my YouTube comments so that you guys can link other people to the reading, and you'll have just the reading. You don't have to go through the entire show to get the reading of your story. So Barbarossa, thank you for coming in. I did read it. I will make a clip of it and post it. You'll start seeing those show up probably tomorrow, sometime like around afternoon. So awesome and great you were here. Can't wait for writer Greg to read that. Does Greg not like moist? I don't know how to make it say tradition, or if you even can. Tradition. I'm a veteran of Fiddler on the Roof. I'm pretty proud. I actually got 300 words out of it. You did get 300 words out of it. It's fun. Really nifty idea. Oh, the clipping. Yeah, I YouTube's a very different thing. I do stream live on YouTube. This is co-streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. Twitch is the main streaming platform. These all do get recorded onto YouTube, my Facebook channel. So they're there, but YouTube does not record them. They broadcast them live, but they don't record them live. So I don't get to see it that way. What am I missing here? Oh, yeah, my screen. That one. I don't get to see them because YouTube just doesn't do it. So I'm going to start putting them on separately so that people can see it. And I think it's a great way for you guys to be able to share the stories. And hey, this is one interpretation of the story. So I hope you guys will use them. They're fun to read that way. All right, this one is Siobhan's. Gautama, and the way that's accented, I'm going to say that it's Sierra. If I'm not close, you have about 5 seconds to drop it in before I butcher it. So that's the way I'm going to go with it. Let's see here. 1 voice, 2 voices. What else have I got here? Okay. All right, so this is how we're going to do this. Close enough, Sierra. Okay, fine. We're going to go with Sierra. Let's actually let you see the screen rather than my ugly mug. All right, here we go. Gautama and Sierra. Gautama is very protective of his little sister Sierra and stands between the sun and his advances upon her. Now Sierra is a precocious one, flirting with the sun on a daily basis. Brogan the shoemaker to his son, a lesson in the protection of a sister's virtue. Gautama and Sierra are the moons of Corrigenda. They travel in diametrically opposed orbits, with Sierra traveling inside the orbit of Gautama. Every time span that they would cause a double eclipse where both would pass in front of the sun simultaneously, causing a double diamond ring effect. Gautama is the larger of the two and travels in a west to east direction like the sun. He has been seen to chase the sun across the sky. His little sister Sierra travels east to west as if she were trying to play tag with her big brother. The orbits of the two moons are not in perfect alignment, and because of this, the occurrence of lunar-to-lunar eclipses only happen once every 8 years. Gautama is the brighter of the two moons, with a silver sheen and a beaten surface. Sierra is darker, with a coppery red sheen and nearly flawless surface, for her brother seems to intercede on her behalf against any who would harm her. It is said that as the world was created, Gautama started to chase the sun in hopes of learning how to be brighter and more powerful. That was until his little sister arrived in the sky, and then it was no longer hero worship, but an act of protectiveness, for he saw how the two flirted. It was 200 years from the beginning before Sierra arrived to orbit Corregenda, and from that point on, she flirted darkly with the sun, much to her brother's dismay and chagrin. Since that time, Gautama has tried to interpose himself between the sun and Kiara. Caught it right at the end, Siobhan. I like that one. I like that one because it's got a really kind of playful feel to it. Very much a bedtime story feel to it. That's what I was getting out of it. The quick glance that I did just to start gave me kind of a bedtime story feel, like something you would tell the kids. And, you know, the fact that that's how you led into it with the quote gave me very much a bedtime feel, bedtime story feel. So I like that one because it's kind of sweet. I like that. Yeah, great article. What do we got here? Oh, 4:57. Have we ended the raffle yet? Did the raffle end? Did it say? I didn't see it. Let us see if the raffle still has any time on it, or if we're just about there. The raffle is closing. We are closing the raffle. If you have not put in for the raffle, I will give you another 30 seconds to pop it. Oh, it did end. Okay, so it did say, I didn't see the message come by that it ended. Oh, there it is. You can no longer enter the raffle. I just didn't read far enough. So, yeah, it's ended. So, let's see who gets this one. We're going to close the entries here. I got to do the back end stuff. I've only done this once, so we'll see what happens. So we've closed the entries. I said close entries. And now, that's why, oh, I guess I actually need to close entries. Apparently, I can't just do it from one screen. I have to do it from two. So, once my computer catches up, close raffle. And survey says it should end. It's coming, I promise, once I figure out why it isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's see. Still not doing it. All right, what do I need to do here? Commands. Perhaps I have used the wrong command. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I figure out what on earth I'm doing with a raffle. Let's see. Giveaway. There it is. Close raffle. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Did I not type it right? I typed it correctly. Let's try it one more time. Close raffle. Yeah, I'm trying on the... I'm trying everything, I promise. Let's see. So giveaways. Let's go back to that screen. Maybe it just needed to go back to that screen again. Maybe I needed to reload. Here it comes. Hopefully it's going to do it. Ah, yes, there we go. Pick a winner. So, we have 5 people who have entered. 1 shall leave with a sticker. Drum roll, please. RPG Dinosaur Bob! RPG Dinosaur Bob! RPG Dinosaur Bob, you have won the Kahuna the Elder sticker. You are going to get a link. It has been sent to you. You can redeem that one. And your sticker will be sent out to you. Made fresh off the press with black ink. Taken from angry squids. It's not really, but, you know, it sounded good. Anyway, congratulations, Dinosaur Bob. I did want to say thank you to folks, especially AJ. Thank you for subscribing. That is awesome. Sable, thank you again for the raid. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have other folks come with you over to here. It makes it just that much more fun. Dino Bob, I'm going to refresh real quick. So, Dinosaur Bob. Are you still here, Bob? Or did you leave? Well, the link is going to be him. I think it sends him a message as well as just the link here. So, again, thank you so much for coming onto the stream today. Next stream is Tuesday, same time. Tuesday's Kahuna Help. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. If you guys have questions, you're having issues with article templates, maybe you have CSS issues. I'm not going to promise I'm great. I'm not going to promise I can help you necessarily, but we can try to figure it out. And we can take a look at stuff live, and everybody can learn that way. You're having issues with telling your story or coming up with plot points. Kahuna Help is the place to do that. So please join me on Tuesday at 4. Does anybody know who is... do we have anybody to raid, is the question, I guess. Do we know of anybody to raid? You know what I should have done when he won that was... Oh, where are you? It was... Oh, I can't see it. It should have been... Oh, this. Bob won. Could you guys hear that one, by the way? Could you hear the yay? Because otherwise, if you didn't hear the yay, then this is the one that should have done it. All right. No one to raid. Well, poop. Just poop. So you could hear those. Okay, cool. And hopefully they weren't too loud. They weren't too loud for me, but, you know, I am going to start it. Please, if you want me to read one, drop them in the Kahuna Reads channel on my Discord. Let me toss that. Calendar doesn't work for me, but there is no one in my feed. Man, I guess Sundays are... Well, you know what? Since we're done with summer camp, folks just aren't streaming as much. There's the Discord link if you need it. Drop them in the Kahuna Reads channel. Drop your links for me to read. Because I'm actually going to try to take another step and see if I can start adding sound effects. Because, you know, you can never have too much Wilhelm scream. They were a bit faint. Well, let me fix that. No, that was still a little bit faint. This one's probably it right here. This is probably as loud as I want to go. The famous Wilhelm scream used in movie after movie after movie. If you know the story of that, you know how it came about and how it's been sampled forever. All right. So, well, I guess we have no one to raid. I'm sad. But hopefully I will see you guys on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, then join me Friday. Again, the same time. I will not be doing it from a car this time, although there might be something along those lines. And Mrs. Kahuna will be joining me on camera this time, not sticking her hand in front of my face while I'm driving. So, you guys have a great week. Thank you again for coming, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye.